Well, alrighty. This is Connie with the Artisan Company. Welcome back to the channel. Well, let's get started on this project today. Easy peasy project. You can do it with your eyes closed. Most of the ones I show you, you can. Some just take a little more time. But anyway, let's look and see what's on the desk here. So today I've got this beautiful strand of lapis we're going to be working with. Because sometimes, I think Marcia said it the other day on one of her videos. Sometimes simple is a good thing, and I totally agree with that. Not everything has to be totally elaborate. So anyway, I've got this beautiful strand of lapis, and it's faceted. It's a 4 millimeter micro, what they call micro-faceted. It's just got little tiny cuts all over it. I'm sure Ken zoomed in on this so you could see it, but oh my goodness, is this not gorgeous? I got this at Stones and Silver. She does still have some right now. So, unless she sells out between the time this posts. But right now she does have some of these, and oh my goodness, they're so beautiful. So we're going to be using these. It's our mainstay. Then I've got some of these 11.0 seed beads, and this is in a shiny gunmetal color. Is this not gorgeous? I got these at Fire Mountain, and I have used these little guys in lieu of black or silver so many times because they're just stunning in a piece of jewelry, as you're going to see in just a minute. But some of these 11.0 gunmetal colored seed beads, 11.0s. Then I've got this beautiful, simple hook and eye sterling silver clasp here. I've got some little finishing beads here, and like I always say, the finishing beads that's just my term for it. Um, but it's just the last bead that you put on before you put on the crimp. So anyway, and then the crimps and crimp covers are however you want to finish out your necklace. It's up to you. There are myriads of ways, so you don't have to stay with what I'm showing you. I'm kind of like Marcia on this one too. I find something that I really love that really works well and looks good all the time, every time. I'm probably gonna stick with that for quite some time. So, but you can do whatever you would like to do. You're going to need some beading wire, and I'm using today AccuFlex 49 strands in a fine beading wire. Most of the time I use medium, but today I'm going to use fine because we're using such small, tiny beads. But anyway, 49 strands, the most supple and soft of them, so that's what I'm using on that. Okay, I'm going to do about a 16-inch roughly, so let's get started. All right, so I'm going to show you the reason why I chose the gunmetal seed beads. I had also picked out a seed bead. I also got it Fire Mountain, and it's a silver lined Montana blue color, and you can see it in there. You can see the little blue, and it looks absolutely stunning with these pieces of lapis. It is absolutely beautiful with it, as you can see. And that's kind of what it looks like. So it's a design choice. There is no right or wrong here. You could use this Montana blue and it would still be an absolutely stunning necklace. And I toyed with it for a long time. So I thought, okay, so what other options? I don't want to do silver, that's too predictable. Um, I loved gold with it, but a lot of times lapis, most people want silver with it, although in antiquity they used more gold, which I absolutely love with lapis. So I may do that at another time. But I thought, okay, I've got this gunmetal hematite kind of color. And I wound up putting that in there in this section. And it just, to me, it brought the stones alive. And the reason why I feel like that it did is, for one thing, it's faceted. The stones are faceted. The gunmetal beads or hematite colored beads are shiny. So it adds just a little bit more light in there to each bead, and it actually shows each bead as an individual entity. And I love that without Silver would be kind of competing, even though silver is considered neutral. It kind of would compete with the facets of the stone, and I wanted the stone to show. So anyway, I've got them side by side here so you can see the difference between the two. And like I said, there is no right or wrong. Some of you may like this because this gives a higher concentration of blue in it. This gives a higher concentration of separation and light. So that's kind of why I chose what I did. Both are excellent choices. Both would be absolutely stunning. But I went with this one because I wanted a little more light and I wanted a separation of each stone so they could stand on their own. Okay, so with that, let's get to rocking. Okay, so on a project like this, as you know, my typical MO is to pick out the choicest colors to go in the front. And all I'm going to do with this is you can look at this strand here and you can see the variance of color in it. Like this one's got a lot of white. The one next to it is darker. All these are darker. And then you've got some with white right here. So what I'm going to do is I've started two piles here. This pile is the pile with more white. This is the pile with the more dark blues. So all I'm doing is I'm going through bead by bead and sorting them out just like this. Nothing major. I turn it like that and I look at it and I thought, okay, this merits. These two are pretty dark. And then, of course, you always have your in-betweens like that. But anyway, so these are a little darker. So I'm going through doing just that. I roll them a little bit so I can see all sides. And I'm just making two piles. That's all I'm doing. Now, this is not something that you have to do by any means. It's just something I love to do because I love more of a concentration of color in places. But there is no right or wrong to this, so you can do it any way you want to. All right, I'm going to continue on with separating my piles, and you separate your piles, and we'll be back. Okay, I've got my piles separated. I got my darker colors here and my lighter or colors that have more white in the matrix on this side. So you know what the next step is correctly. This is what we're doing. Going to separate these out left and right. So you'll make sure you have the same concentration of color on the left side as you do on the right. Even though there's no pendant in this, it's just a straight line of color with a mixture of the seed beads. But you want to make sure that your color's even on both sides. So that's the next thing we're going to do. Let me move these over here so we'll have a little bit of room. And we'll just start just like this. Looking at the color here, the color concentration. Wow, these things are stunning. Left, right, left, right. That's all we're doing. Wow, wow, wow. And as you're going, you can adjust this as you're going when you start beading it and you think, oh, well, I need to switch those two beads or I need to add this bead there or whatever. It's so easy. Just stop and do it. It's no big deal. All right. And sometimes I know people go, boy, that is really anal that you're doing that. That's like over the top concern. Well, it's not really over the top concern. It's called detail work to me. Um, Jewelry is all in the details. You can have a stunning, I mean, let's say you had a pendant that was this big right here, just a beautiful pendant of some kind of amazing stone. And then you don't pay attention to the details around it, the details of the clasp, the details of the added beads, whether it needs a bead cap, whether you need to alternate the pattern, whether you need to create a new pattern. I mean, all of this stuff is in the detail work. And if you don't take care of the details, that beautiful pendant that you have is not going to shine like it needs to. So just take your time. get a coffee, a tea, take your time. Do not rush. Jewelry cannot be rushed. If you rush, you're not going to have the best that you could have. So take your time, sort them out, and, you know, we'll go from there. Be back in a minute. Okay, we're going to start on one side. It doesn't matter which side you're going to start on. So I'm just going to start on, I'm right-handed, so I'm going to start on this side. And I'm probably, you can see I've got, this is the one side and this is the other. So I'm going to start probably at this top one here, work my way down here, pick up here and go that way. That's the direction I am going. All right, and I'm not going to do all of these because of time. We're just going to get started. But anyway, so this is a no-brainer of a necklace. Because the beads are so small, though, it's going to take you a little bit of time to do them, so don't get in a hurry, as I always say. But oh my goodness, this is going to be so beautiful. This is also a gift for someone. I did a gift for someone the other day, and this is another gift for someone. So it's, you know, I do a lot of gifts for people just because I love to do it, and it's just so much fun, and it's so special when you can get something that's unique that nobody else has. That's the beauty of being able to do this kind of work. Um, yeah, so much fun. And this time of year, the blues are so pretty with all the stuff blooming, and blue is just a color you can wear all year. Oh, gotta love it. Man, these are pretty. I get some beautiful things from Stones and Silver. Heidi White is the proprietor there, and she does amazingly beautiful wire wrapping. If any of you have had a chance to go look at her work, it's also on the site. And she's such a great person. I've got some beautiful lemon chrysoprase coming up. Oh my goodness, it's so stunning. Wait till you see it. I cannot wait for you to see it. Maybe we'll do that one next. I don't know. Okay, so here's where we are. And look how beautiful. Oh my goodness, look at that. Wow, simple, simple, simple elegance. Simple elegance. Each bead stands alone, each bead makes a statement. Oh my goodness, the gunmetal color is not overbearing, it's not typical either. So, yes, this is exactly what I wanted it to look like. Hallelujah. Love it when a plan works. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and continue to bead on. I'm going to go ahead and finish this side and this one. You do yours and we'll get back. Alrighty, let's look at where we're at right now. Okay, so I did all the darker beads that I could up front. Oh my goodness, look at this, guys. Oh my goodness, look at the concentration of color in that. Wow, wow, wow. I am just stoked about it. And I'm just loving the way the hematite color or gunmetal colored beads right in here are working. Yes, 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 this is working. Oh, I love it. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this little pile of the stones that have the more white in them right here. I'm going to take those, I'm going to sort those out just like I did for this one. And then we'll start stringing up here. So to expedite time, because you know the process, I'm going to go ahead and do this off camera and string them, and then we'll be back. Um, yeah, I want to save some time. Alrighty, we are on the tail end of this, and to expedite time, I did this end of the clasp as usual. Trying to wipe it off there a little bit with my cloth. Okay, so last thing on this side, I shook it to make sure I didn't have any gaps in my beads, and make sure it's supple, that it'll turn like that. That way you'll know your tension's not too tight. All right, last thing here. The crimp goes on, end of the clasp. Oh, this stuff is tiny, guys. It is tiny. Kind of makes your eyeballs go, ah. At least it does mine anyway. And of course, the lights are pretty shiny too, so that also keeps it from being able to see it real well. And remember, when you're pulling that on, make sure you let this little guy breathe down here. You don't want it so tight that he's going, hey, somebody help. All right. Mash it and fold it. Oops, can't see it there. All right, there it is right there. Mash it down good where it's good and tight. Because if you remember, if you don't fold that crimp, your wire will come out. Okay, I'm going to take this little excess wire and I'm going to run it down through about 2 or 3 beads, and then I'll be back. All right, so I'm putting my crimp on. Remember, when you get it on there, slide your little crimp that you just put on. Blah, blah, blah. You're going to make sure your crimp is closed and your crimp cover goes over the top of it. And you'll close it up very, very slowly. Alrighty. Don't do it too fast. Run your finger over it, make sure there's no rough edges, and there you go. We are done with this project. Another beautiful gift for someone. Simple, I call it simple elegance. Oh my goodness, look at this, guys. And look at the sparkle of these beads. I am so excited about these. Just beautiful, a little elegant clasp right there, and just look at how they all catch the light, have an individual statement. Oh my goodness, I love it. Okay, beautiful lapis necklace. Remember to like and subscribe if you saw something that you just loved, and I will see you guys on the next video. Bye.